The East End Women's League put together a panel of elders to discuss the topic of notable British Virgin Islanders and their contribution to the history and development of our territory. Nia Douglas has this report from the Long Look Methodist Church.
The East End Women's League accommodated a number of guests during this special meeting who ventured to the Long Look Methodist Church in hopes of gaining knowledge from the panel of elders who discussed notable persons across fields and trades in British Virgin Islands history.
This is an important discussion because during the last 100 years, the territory has experienced phenomenal change, and our distinguished panelists are well qualified by their experience to remind us how it used to be, lest we forget.
The panel consisted of Ms. Ermine Penn, known for her work in preserving and promoting Virgin Islands culture, educator Quincy Lettsome, former public servant and talk show host Douglas Wheatley, and notable fisherman Erman Thomas. Penn was the first of the four panelists to speak. Not only did Penn acknowledge the great craft makers of the BVI, including prominent shoemakers, she also ensured that everyone understood the essential role crafts play from a societal standpoint.
So I want you to understand how important it is to see the economics in it all. People just don't create craft simply because you need something. In order to wear a hat, you have to have something to cover your head from the sun or the rain. But you also create the hat because even if it's through battering, you may need the hat, but you may also need bananas. And somebody who may need your hat even more than you do may be happy to give you the bananas. All of that was part and parcel of our economic way of survival in the Virgin Islands.
Quincy Lettsome, beginning in 1848 with the missionaries of the Methodist Church, gave a detailed account of major figures in the history of Virgin Islands education, many of whom have institutions named in their honor. Erman Thomas spoke passionately about shipbuilding as an integral part of Virgin Islands culture and expressed remorse at the fact that in a country where boat building once thrived, there is now a reliance on the importation of boats and other goods.
Why they don't open a place here that our young people can learn to build yachts? What do we have in the British Virgin Islands that we can say this was made in the BVI? If you take up a handkerchief store, made in China, made in Japan, something made in... It wasn't made in the British Virgin Islands.
Douglas Wheatley entertained the crowd by telling the stories of the Virgin Islanders who stood up and had a voice, hoping to remind Virgin Islanders to adapt the same attitude that their ancestors had in order to maintain control of the community.
So I'm not saying that we have to be rude or anything like that, but I think we have to stand up for our rights. And that is the tradition that we have come from, but something has happened over the last several years, and we are no longer that kind of a people. And we need something to strengthen our backbones so that going forward we'll be able to stand up and fight for what we believe in.
The League recognized that eminent mason and contractor Beresford Smith was initially part of the panel but was unable to attend. Panelist Ermine Penn spoke highly of Smith and noted that she had written about his achievements and contribution to architecture in the BVI. The night ended with a sharing of memories and other combined knowledge from panelists, guests, and members of the League.
Nia Douglas reporting from the Methodist Church in Long Look. Church